Gel.
32 abimi salarım seni.
Aslanım gel. Aslan oyuncu gel yanıma. Bak. Devam et.
Bak bu yüzden konuşma. Burada dur, ben seni tutayım ya.
Biz konvoy yapıyoruz.
Ben çakmak 12, 32 diye abi vardı, salarım üstüne senin ha. Sen İsmet Çakmak'ı tanımıyorsun. İsmet abi.
Aslanım devam et.
Let's move to Burley.
Konvoy yapmak isteyen.
Hello? Abi sus ya.
Oyunun sesini kısayım.
Just picking up on things that affected them deeply in the past. And I do think that they were greatly influenced by the abuse that they both suffered. People don't respond to abuse in the same way. So there are people who go on to be abusers, there are people who go on to be the cream of society. You know, people respond in very different ways, and even though Ayla and Corridor don't respond in the same way, they're both clearly very damaged individuals.
the eldest, youngest, middle child, I think you kind of always return to that role, no matter how old you are. You're stuck with that role in your family.
It's quite important, Michael, isn't it, to remember that Coronée is the older of the two. And so she's talking, and when she's reflecting to herself about her Edwin relay about the good looks of her sister, she's talking about her younger sister.
Yes, I agree completely with Frank that whatever position you have in your family, it's almost a position for life. Here in Nigeria, a lot of responsibility is placed on the eldest sibling. In some families, if the oldest sibling is almost the third parent, they're giving a lot of freedom when it comes to disciplining their younger siblings. And it wasn't like that in my home, but I've witnessed a lot of homes where the eldest child has that much power. That's another reason why it isn't as easy for Corinne to walk away from Ayla, because Ayla is in many ways her responsibility and she feels that strongly.
I think we're going to introduce some of the other characters now. The focus is very much on the sisters. Our reader, Sarah Thompson, who joins us, has been listening to the conversation. What is your question for Michael?
Hi, so in retrospect, is there a character that you would have developed on more, and if so, how?
I think if I was going to explore anyone a little bit further, it would have been Femi, who was the third victim of Ayla's and who's the first death we're involved with in the book. Just because I enjoyed discovering him, even though he was already dead.
Well, let's go to another of our readers who sent in a question, and this one comes from Jane.
One of the things I love about it is its evocation of crazy Lagos life. Although it was intensely annoying at times because I kept having to stop and look things up. I mean, I had no idea what elastoma stands for, or what E-ro-ro rice tastes of, or when the character slipped into Yoruba. I was completely lost. But it did make me think, what
Of course, it was the end of July. I'll just briefly go through the statement just to outline a little bit of why this has been decided. This statement reads, just before lunch on the first session of play, that was today, it came to light that a member of the Northamptonshire playing squad, that's the visiting team, had tested positive for COVID-19, although the player was not part of the group that travelled with the squad to Bristol. He'd been self-isolating at home, but further members of the Northamptonshire squad had been in contact with the player within 48 hours of the player developing COVID-19 symptoms. So Gloucestershire, Northamptonshire, the two teams and the ECB say they're unified in the belief that player welfare is paramount. No risks should be taken for the health and safety of the players, officials and administrators involved in the match. The match now has been abandoned and the Northamptonshire squad will return home to Northamptonshire today. So the game will not now take place, it's been abandoned, and of course our thoughts now with those involved. We hope for their safe recovery.
Kevin, thank you very much indeed. News from the Tour de France today. Tadej Pogačar edged Slovene compatriot Primož Roglič in a sprint finish in Larens at the end of the mountainous ninth stage of the Tour de France. Second place was enough to give Roglič the yellow jersey after Britain's Adam Yates was unable to keep up with the small breakaway group at the end of a 153-kilometre stage from Pau. Well, here in Southampton, Australia batted first in the second T20 International, and they made 157 for 7 in their 20 overs. Aaron Finch, the captain, top scorer, 40 off 33. Marcus Stoinis made 35 off 26. Glenn Maxwell, 26 off 18, and devastating spell of fast bowling at the start of the innings. 2 wickets in the first 2 overs from Archer and from Wood. Archer a bit expensive at his final over, but a really fine bit of bowling from him, generally speaking. So England's target is 158, and we're going to bring you live commentary on 5 Live Sport. We'll join the TMS commentary team. Michael Carberry, the former England opener, is alongside Adam Collins.
Butler's shot for leg before, and it's turned down by umpire Milnes. And that will be the end of the second over. There's not going to be a review. We welcome 5 Live listeners who are joining us for this second innings.
Much outside of her relationship with Ayala, I think she tried to keep those worlds separate. You know, she did her best to keep Ayala away from the hospital because she believes that any man who sets eyes on her sister is immediately a goner. Ayala had never met Tadej, and she wanted to make sure they never met, and then they did, and things she expected them to happen, but unfortunately for her, she also has the additional fear that, she's aware her sister kills men, and specifically the men that she dates and goes out with. So this love triangle is even more complex because of that.
Yes, it makes it a rather unusual love triangle to put it mildly. Now here is another of our readers, Henry Emerson. He sent this question, Henry.
To me, there seems like a very kind of nuanced and novel about the female assassin. For me, growing up, the killers in the books I read were always men, and kind of the character of Ayula has probably undoubtedly led to the success of your novel and others such as the Killing Eve saga. Was that something you wanted to explore when writing the novel?
I don't know, I've been asked this sort of question before, and it's always really difficult for me to answer because I don't want to sound as though I'm saying there has been a lot of representation for strong women, especially in crime. However, at the time, I didn't feel as though writing it, I didn't feel as though I was doing anything new. I think as a reader, I've always gravitated towards literature that has strong women in it, even if it's via fantasy or classics or whatever. So writing this, I didn't feel as though I was doing anything new. But after it came out, and people were like, oh, this is different, and I had to start to think about it, that hang on, how many books have I read where the woman, gets to be a villain and have fun with it? Maybe not so much, but I've written novels before this that are sitting on my laptop, and lots of poetry and short stories, and they're usually strong or crazy women.
We've alluded to this several times. The way the sisters look, and indeed the way they dress and present themselves, is really central in the story. Our reader, Susan, sent you this question.
There are many references in the book to Iola's hair, to her dreads. How she wears her dreads, does she have them up, does she have them down? I'm intrigued to know why that is so important to the story.
I said earlier that one of the things that was important to me writing the story was about beauty and how society treated it. I firmly believe that it also influences how a person carries themselves. If you've been told since you were the age of 3 that you're the prettiest little angel, when you walk into the room at age 23, you walk with a certain confidence that you may not have had if been alive since you were young or ignored. Also, because it's from Corriday's point of view, and Corriday doesn't consider herself to be beautiful, she never focuses on her own looks. She spends all her time describing what her sister is wearing, how her sister, as you pointed out, how her sister wears her hair. She's also a little bit obsessed with her sister and how beautiful her sister is, as they all are in this book. So there's definitely that contrast. I don't think I really described Corriday at all, except for maybe when she compares herself to her mother, who also doesn't feel that she's very beautiful.
And very tall.
Yes. Yes. When she does describe herself, it's in very kind of harsh terms.
Mr. Muhtar.
Tardes.
Lan yine mi sen geldin amına koyduğumun veledi? Siktir git amına siktiğimin evladı seni orospu çocuğu.
Ya Kila Hakan, önüne bak da geçeyim ben değil mi yani? Beni sıkıştırıyorsun. Ha yersin böyle.
Yersin böyle yarrarsın. Otur.
Vurma lan şerefsiz.
Organised between nailers and colliers. Black Country's where I'm from. It's the urban area north and west of Birmingham, but not part of it. Definitely not part of it.
Now I say and promise I'm better almost.
Run away to the rope for 4 runs. That was not far away at all for an opportunity, but he did strike it pretty well, to be fair. He moves to 6 and England at 32 for 1.
Yeah, Mitchell Stark not quite getting that one right. A little bit hard tracker. Milan very strong with the short ball. Just evading sort of mid-on field who's on quite.
Train spotting 1832 gives a sense of the heyday of the Black Country's industry and the period of history from where it got its name. It refers to the story, possibly apocryphal, that Queen Victoria demanded the blinds on her train were pulled as she passed through the region, so she didn't have to look at it, or us. Our collective psyche still takes umbrage at that perceived snub.
Her Majesty's carriages never slowed, curtains drawn tight over windows so as not to see us. The glow of hell at her country's heart, her grave diggers, her mine workings, her furnaces, every which way you look. Men, women, kids. Our work